Hello and welcome to the Cardiac Cats YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Shorba, and I want to make sure I got this video out. This news happened yesterday, so a lot of you guys have already heard. But Tyler Shatley was re-signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He will be heading into what I believe is his 11th season. So I'm just going to give you some quick thoughts on this, and then I'll also talk about some things coming up this next week. We have a more clear vision of the plans for our videos before the NFL draft. So first of all, let's talk about the topic at hand, of course. Tyler Shatley is back. We do not have contract details yet. I have searched for them. Over the Cap still doesn't have them updated here. But what you need to know about this, if you don't know anything about Tyler Shatley already, he has been a very good backup in Jacksonville for a very long time. He's played a lot at center throughout his career. We'll actually take a look at how many snaps he's had. But this is a guy who's been here for a long time. He's the longest tenured player by far, and he's a good addition. And it's a smart player to bring back, especially now that you're not factoring in the Calvin Ridley comp pick. It's gone at this point. You're not going to get it. So definitely like this move. You can see, like, just this last year, played 590 snaps. He's not a starter, by the way. Like, he's playing on the field a lot because he's the main guy who comes in for injuries. And you can see where he played a lot of those snaps, came in at left guard for much of the season. He actually, correct me for a moment here, he was a starter early last year before the Ezra Cleveland trade. But generally, he's been one of the backup interior guys. You go back even to 2022, he's got over 1,000 snaps here. This is the guy who plays a lot of football for Jacksonville, even if we don't look at him as a starter all the time. So you got to respect that. Of course, I think left guard was a place they needed to upgrade. We talked about that last offseason. We were excited about it with the Ezra Cleveland trade. And they've got their guy of the future. But I think Tyler Shatley is a really good player to have here right now because you want your backups on the interior still. I don't think there's a ton of depth there. And I also think, quite frankly, like if it was me, I think he could push Luke Fortner quite a bit this year. I think he could actually take over that second string position for center. But as far as his performances, looking at 2022, not a great run blocker, right? But did really well in pass protection. Definitely something good. You could see in 2023, didn't have as good of a year. And that's probably why this took a little bit. I doubt it's that big of a contract. But yeah, you got a lot more questionable of play here. I still think Tyler Shatley at this point is a serviceable backup. I think it's a good deal for Jacksonville. I doubt they had to pay him a whole lot. And now you add to this offensive line, you have a plan on the interior. If someone goes down, you've got your backup now. Like, that's the big thing with this. I mean, you could see just based off the positions he's playing, like, he plays everywhere for Jacksonville. So I do really appreciate that about Tyler Shatley. Now, there are not many players left to talk about re-signing this offseason. You have definitely some we can discuss, but like Trey Herndon, I think he's gone at this point pretty clearly. They have their replacement. So, you know, Darnell Savage, like, I think he's going to be the slot. So Herndon makes sense for him to go somewhere else. You look at DeJuan Smoot, I think he'll be back as well. But I think it'll be later in the offseason. I don't think he's going to get paid a whole lot. And then Shaq Quarterman, probably get a small deal at some point. I think he'll stick around in Jacksonville. But these are contracts they're generally waiting on. There's not a ton that would force their hand right now. So you've got a couple players here. But at the end of the day, like, we pretty much know the case for all the big guys as far as them coming back, them leaving. I think everything's pretty clear. And now it's just a question of what's going to happen during the draft. Now, getting into the last part of this, because that's really my wrap up for the Tyler Shatley news. Now, tomorrow, I did not have plans yet, but I did get invited to do a walk the mock with some of the content creators again. This is not all content creators necessarily. There's some fans in here, but a lot of people are coming back for it. This will happen tomorrow night. As far as the time, it will be taking place, I believe, at 8 Eastern. And I'll have an official time on the YouTube because you'll see it in a live stream that's been planned. So tomorrow night, plan for that. I will be here. We'll get another shot at it, especially since some of my takes have changed since the last time we did this. But really excited for that. And then we got some other videos that'll be coming up this next week. Just for a preview, pull up my list here. Monday, I'll be doing probably predicting the 2024 NFL draft for the Jaguars that day. Maybe it'll come out earlier, but that video is going to come up around then. On Tuesday, I'll be giving you my thoughts on who I would select. Who would I be targeting ideally in the draft? You guys probably already know the answer, but we're going to go into detail on it. Wednesday will be our final mock draft that we do. And then Thursday, I will upload my final thoughts on the 2024 draft before we do our live stream that night. So a lot of stuff I'm really excited for. I can't wait to get to it, but I got a busy day today. So I'm going to hop off here. But I appreciate you guys joining me. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. And finally, go Jags.